All right, in this last part of the optional and extra examples and practices, we're going to go ahead and do some of these operations. So f plus g of 2, f times h of -1, f times g of 0, and then g divided by f of 5. So these are performing operations, but now we're actually plugging in values. So when I want to find, for example, f plus g of 2, that's the same thing as doing f of 2 plus g of 2. All right, so if I do f of 2 first, that'll be 4 times 2 minus 3, plus g of 2 would be 4 times 2 squared minus 7 times 2 plus 3. Okay. In this first part, 4 times 2 is 8 minus 3. And then in the second part, 4 times 2 squared is 4, minus 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3. So I end up with 8 minus 3 is 5, plus 4 times 4 is 16. 16 minus 14 is 2. 2 plus 3 is another 5. So total would be 10. Okay. If I'm going to do f times h of -1, that means I'm going to do f of -1 times h of -1. So I'm going to find those individually first. So f of -1 would be 4 times -1 minus 3. I'm going to multiply that by h of -1, which would just be -1 minus 1. So I get 4 times -1 is -4 minus 3 is -7. And then -1 minus 1 more would be -2. And -7 times -2 is a positive 14. Awesome. All right, I'm going to erase that, and then we'll get some more room going. Okay, so in our next one, we're going to do f times g of 0. So we're going to do f of 0 times g of 0. So f of 0 would be 4 times 0 minus 3. And then g of 0 would be 4 times 0 squared minus 7 times 0 plus 3. Okay, 4 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 3 is -3. And then times 4 times 0 is 0. Minus 7 times 0 is still 0. Plus 3. It's just a positive 3. So then we get -3 times positive 3, which is a -9. Awesome. All right, and this last one, we're going to do division, g of 5 divided by f of 5. So g of 5 divided by f of 5. So on top, in my g of 5, I'll have 4 times 5 squared minus 7 times 5 plus 3. And then on the bottom, I'll have 4 times 5 minus 3. All right, 4 times 5 squared is 25. -7 times 5 is -35 plus 3. All over 4 times 5 is 20. And then if I do 4 times 25, that gives me 100. 100 minus 35 gives me 65, and 65 plus 3 gives me 68. On the bottom, I have 20 minus 3, which is 17, and that is going to be your final answer because 17 is prime. So there's nothing that I can't simplify this fraction anymore because there's nothing that 68 and 17 are both divisible by. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, wait. I want to double check and see if I can just do 68 divided by 17. Look at that, I can. I knew it. If you test it in your calculator like you're supposed to, you get that your answer is 4. Because 68 divided by 17 is 4. There we go. So let's go ahead and do our last one. We're going to do some composite functions with these two guys. So the first one we're going to do is f of x. So we're going to take f of x and you're going to plug it into itself. So I'm going to do f of x, which means I have my input plus 5, and my input is itself, right? I'm taking f of x and I'm plugging it into itself. So I'm plugging in x plus 5 into my input section. So then you have x plus 5, which really gives you x plus 10. Have I simplified enough? Are there any parentheses? No. Are there any like terms I haven't combined? No, so I'm all done. All right, last one, g of 1. So remember the g of d we can rewrite like this. So g of 1. And this one, since I have an actual number in, I'm going to start working from the inside out. So I'm going to find g of 1 first, just like off on the side. So g of 1 would be 1 squared minus 2 times 1, which would be 1 squared is 1, 2 times 1 is 1, or excuse me, 2. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and replace that with a negative 1. So really, now I'm finding g of negative 1. And when I do that over here, g of negative 1 equals negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1. Negative 1 squared is a positive 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. So my very final answer is 3. Awesome. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, but this was the end of the optional examples video.